University of Nebraska-Lincoln Extension has released its annual crop budgets for 2012. On average, Nebraska crop budgets are expected to be 15% higher than they were a year ago. Market Journal's Kurtis investigates this increase.
From corn to wheat and every Nebraska crop in between, farmers have updated tools to help them make management decisions. The 2012 crop budgets have just been released. These budget reports factor in all estimated expenses. Based on the data, this year's costs of production are expected to be up, according to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Extension Farm Management and Enterprise Budget Analyst Roger Wilson.
And it's up, according to a real rough estimate that I did, about 15%. And I've been using that number, and I'm a little bit reluctant to put out there because you've got to understand what it means. Actually, the cost of materials, the herbicides, the fertilizer, and all those things, that cost is up only about 8%.
Wilson says the costs of labor, land, and machinery prices are expected to be much higher this year. These operating costs are expected to go up nearly 33%.
As you take a look at the budgets, there are some things that just move one direction. In other words, pretty much the price of pesticides doesn't go down. Although most of the prices of those products go up, the price of glyphosate recently really declined because the patent ran out on it. And so those backed way down, and which made a big difference in the budgets because that was being used for all of the Roundup Ready crops that are out there.
There are costs that will tend to fluctuate. Fuel, for example, may be higher some years and lower during others. In this year's crop budgets, Wilson estimated diesel fuel prices at $3.50 a gallon.
That sounds really low because if you drive down the road, you see, oh, it's up close to $4. But a lot of that is road tax, and so we have to kind of discount that price of diesel fuel because that diesel fuel that used in the field isn't the same as what you see in the signs when you drive down the road.
The estimated costs for labor has also increased in the 2012 crop budgets. Last year, labor costs were at $12 an hour. This year, that number jumps to $20 an hour.
In looking at it, most of the labor is provided by the producers. And I know you can hire people for $12, but I don't think you can hire people for $12 that are going to go out there and get the tractor and get the planter ready and go out there and get the field planted and handle all the problems. I mean, the $12 per hour person probably isn't going to be doing it. And so, and the other thing about the $20, that includes benefits. So I think that, if anything, the $20 per hour is maybe still a little bit cheap.
Many of the figures used in developing these budgets were gathered from ag suppliers and UNL experts. While these budgets help make comparisons from one year to the next, they may also give farmers an idea of how other producers are managing their crops.
And I think that some of the people who use those budgets do it because the budgets are pretty detailed, and they tell a lot of the, like, what are the commonly used practices in Nebraska. So I think a lot of people are looking at these budgets not only for the economic part of it, but actually for what are producers doing out there.
There are two versions of the 2012 crop budgets. Farmers can download a printable PDF file from the CropWatch website, or they can download a modifiable spreadsheet to customize. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Kurtis Harms.
Thanks, Kurtis. To obtain these 2012 Nebraska crop budgets free of charge, visit the CropWatch website at cropwatch.unl.edu.